I am delighted to be able to share with you this morning what lies ahead in global strategic marketing and brand, and why. It is an exciting time ahead. We have a new home in Unibail Rodamco Westfield, and with this new home, we have the opportunity to create a global flagship portfolio of shopping centres that will challenge the perception of what shopping centres are. The biggest change in our future is the role that the Westfield brand will play in the naming of our future global flagship portfolio, and what this will mean to our consumers, our retailers, and our brand partners. Now, some of us may be a little biased, but we believe that the creation of our future flagship assets will mean something, whether that be an enhanced quality or best-in-class retail mix and design, through to the experience that our consumers will have in our assets. And the Westfield brand will help us to define and create moments of magic and connection for our consumers. And yes, most definitely, in time, additional revenue streams for our business as brand partners focus their spend in our key global flagship assets. So what is our plan? We have incredible strength from both the UK and the US, and we will be taking the best from the past to create the destinations that we want for our consumers of today and tomorrow. In order to do this, we need to continually challenge what people think shopping centres are. We need to be more than just shops or places to eat. And we need to do this because of our consumers. With so much happening in the world, increasing expectations, the speed and growth of technology, and the role that this technology plays in our lives, simply being a human being is actually getting harder and harder. We are a naturally social species. We crave community, we crave human contact, and we crave engaging spaces. And this can be where we win. So, needless to say, life is a lot more complicated than it used to be. Technology, yes, has created speed, efficiency, and choice, but it can also make it more difficult to create an engaging relationship with our customers. The role of shopping centres needs to shift from one of functionality, where you just went to pick something up, now to one of engagement, where you actually choose to go and spend time. And to do this, we need to be more than just a new logo on a centre facade. With the Westfield brand, the new home for our flagship assets, we will build a new global flagship portfolio across continental Europe and the United States. In order to ensure that we deliver to the values of the brand and what we are trying to create, we are planning a phased approach to the rollout that is being defined on a number of attributes around quality and future potential. And these assets will then be supported through the development of a global brand marketing strategy. And whilst not the final or definitive list, a few examples of what we hope to see over the coming years in continental Europe and the United States. I will now hand over to Hadi to share his digital vision for our future global Westfield flagship portfolio. Thank you.
Thank you, Myf. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Triton. I'm delighted to be back so quickly in Paris to try to energize you through our digital and data ambition for the group. Just a piece of context to start with, but I'm sure all of you have read it in the news. It's now done and official. Two companies have crossed the $1 trillion valuation on the US stock market. Apple was first on August 2nd, earlier this year, followed closely by Amazon just a month later, although they're now back to $950 billion. So those were the first two in the $1 trillion club, and guess who's next on the list? No surprise, digital and tech are taking over the world's economy. Whether through hardware, software, or services, these companies have found a way to transform their market. While retailers are still trying to figure out how to drive online or offline traffic to their business, others are just hacking their way through millions of households around the world with those little devices and trying to create new forms of shopping and entertainment. So, what's our take in this digital transformation? Along with my colleagues from IT and innovation, we see three fields of application for digital and data at URW. First one is better operations, i.e. providing insights and state-of-the-art tools to our teams for better decision-making every day. Second is an unbeatable customer journey. And the idea here is to remain our preferred places, our preferred destinations for shoppers. And third, superior services delivered to retailers in order to become their best business partners. As always, let's think about Amazon and their Amazon Go concept and how these guys have used technology at its best to get rid of every pain point on the offline customer journey. They've spent years, they've spent millions to build that concept, which mainly saves hassle, but also saves time that can be given back to consumers. So it's true that they only operate 3 stores today across the US, but CNBC and Bloomberg have both announced last week that they were planning to deploy 3,000 of these concepts by 2021. So while online players are storming into offline retail, how do we, offline retail champions, transform or help transform a customer journey offline that hasn't significantly evolved over the past 20 years? In a way, we can say that we have also been chasing that pain point relieving strategy with over half a dozen of our assets currently, today, equipped with innovations such as smart parking. It's good news, but the question is how to scale those innovations across the portfolio, and what's the next big thing? For example, should we partner up with Amazon or any of its Chinese competitors to deploy that seamless checkout technology across our malls? How can we use this fantastic in-mall digital infrastructure that we have to deploy new services or new technologies such as AR and VR and create new forms of interactions and surprise with our visitors? If some of the guests we are targeting are less willing to come to the malls, is there a way that the malls can come to them? So, as people increasingly compare the convenience of online with our offline shopping experience, we need to make the best use of digital to enhance our value proposition. And that takes us to brands and retailers. Most of them, as Christophe reminded us, are still fighting against declining sales in their stores, and they're also still figuring out how to build a sustainable and profitable e-commerce model. Even giants like Inditex are having a hard time coping with that challenge, and they have been recently warned by financial analysts. So in that context, how can URW help? The answer is here. We can leverage our data. Since Q1 2017, in continental Europe, both center and marketing teams have enrolled more than 6 million members to our loyalty programs. If you add to that the 2.5 million contacts in the US and the UK, we have the ability today to engage directly with more than 8 million customers. We're aiming to cross the 11 million mark by next year and are still targeting that 19 million objective for 2021. Combining those contacts with data on our shoppers, their profiles, their shopping habits, brands they like, we have everything in our hands to try to drive that extra store visit and try to deliver additional offline sales for our retailers, which in the end, in this multi-channel world, will also enhance their online sales. So working closer with retailers on that One More Store initiative, this is about Project Moon. This is understanding their needs, helping them better understand the mall customers, creating those bespoke activations with them, and then deploying them. That's what marketing has been doing for the last year, and we have a proven track record of great sales activation initiatives with brands like H&M, Uniqlo, Cinesa, Hugo Boss, and others. While continuing to scale up this work with our retailers and to deploy Moon in the US and the UK, our next challenge will be to turn that initiative into a new revenue line for the company with the support of our brand ventures and leasing teams. Moving forward, we need to be inspired by those digital and tech giants that are pushing boundaries of our retail industry, not to be intimidated by them while building our own successes, combining a clear vision, great talent, and willingness to change. My fresh US background makes me want to quote Wayne Gretzky, the greatest hockey player of all times, who just said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so let's dare and take these shots together." Thank you.